Hello, everybody. So with tensions in the horror community on YouTube being very high right now, with good reason, I think, I wanted to do something a little different. And that thing is going to be reading CrappyPastas. And if you don't know what a CrappyPasta is, it's pretty much a really horrible creepypasta. And I want to put a little disclaimer at the beginning of this video. It is not meant to offend anybody. It's not meant to offend people who English is not their first language or anything like that. I'm not so much making fun of the writing and misspellings and things like that as I am the actual plot of these stories. So yeah, I just wanted to, because the last thing I want to do is hurt anybody's feelings or anything. So without further ado, here are some of the crappiest creepypastas that I found. I always assumed it was me. Those scratches, those bumps, the ones you wake up with in the morning. And maybe now it is. But it didn't used to be. It used to be him. I've never seen him, but I know he is short and fat with orange hair. I call him the Scissor Man. He lives everywhere and nowhere. You would never guess him to be the gnome in your backyard or that little toy you had ever since you were little. He hides in those things, morphing shape until you are fast asleep, watching while you sleep, keeping track on your every movement. He is the one who gives you those mysterious cuts and scratches while you sleep, always getting deeper and deeper until you do the work for him, until you take your own pair of scissors and cut open your flesh. See, he lives for that blood, and without it, he would die. So inside your room he goes, pulls out his little pair of scissors, and gets to work. One day, I decided to go on a small trip to the Blue Mountains in Australia. My family used to always go there in the winter and huddle around a fire in our little cottage, so I thought my girlfriend would like it too. But this visit was different. We headed up to the mountains from Sydney. When we got there, we stayed in a little cottage in Liera. We enjoyed our first day with hot chocolate around the fireplace. We soon went to bed. In the night, I woke up to these large bangs outside the house. It was really weird. It did not sound like a human or an animal. I thought it was something blowing in the wind. But it kept happening at random, times even when there was no wind. This is where the strange part happened. As I walked outside, a moth flew by me. I had my mouth open and it flew down my throat. I choked, and I could feel burning. It was really scared, and I ended up vomiting it all out. After that happened, the door closed behind me. I tried to open it, but it was locked somehow. I ran around the house and started knocking on my girlfriend's window. She was asleep. There were little moths covering her eyes. I was really worried at this point, so I decided to wait outside and wait until she woke up. I fell asleep and woke up in the forest near the cottage. I found myself sitting next to a burning bush with a face whispering, "The crimson is here." I cried, and a man in a black cape with a hood touched my heart and told me that you can't escape, you are a victim. He told me to spread the word about him anonymously. I tried to tell my girlfriend, but the words couldn't come out. So now I just spread the word through forum posts. I'm not afraid of the crimson. I know he stalks me, but he won't kill me. He is looking for other victims. One day, I'm cleaning my room. It's a lot of mess. It looks like a party ended in my room, and that time I found a random scratch disc under my bed. After cleaning my room, I put the random disc in my computer. After that, it has a file. The file is 01010011, 011000001, 0111010000, 11000001, 011011110.mpf. I don't know the meaning of the file, but after I opened it, it just flashes black, red, gray, and more dark colors. And there's a music too. I can't understand it, but yeah. After 2 days has passed, I'm really curious about the file I found. So the music really interests me a lot, so I've done a lot of experiments. I tried searching it in Google, tried to hear what it says, but I failed. After 1 week has passed, I had a great idea. What if I tried to make the music backwards? So I tried, and yeah, there's a result. It says, I glue glory to bzzzt. Huh? It cut it off? I'm saying it's just a glitch, so I tried it again and still cutting off. So after that, I explored the disk. I found out that there's a hidden file in the disk. I really got spooked when I found a hidden notepad file that named satan.txt. I really got creeped out, so I took the disk off the computer. I didn't open the notepad text, so yeah. After that day, I go to my friend's house. I said that, hey Carl, look on the random disk that I found. Can we check it on your computer? And he said yes. After that, when he entered the disk on his CPU, when he opened the disk files, it doesn't contain anything. And I said try disabling hidden files, and it didn't work. So I just go to my home again and explore. After that, I decided to open the satan.txt in the disk. So after that, I opened it. It has text. It says, you little fool. After reading that sentence, my computer automatically shut down. I tried to open my computer, but it always appeared a red screen. I don't know what to do, so I just closed my computer for a while. Then, when it's 9:36 p.m., I decided to sleep now, but I started to have really bad nightmares. I dreamed that I'm trapped to a dark place. While I'm trapped, I saw somebody walking towards me. He/she has a knife, a bloody knife. It really scared me, but when he/she's in front of me, he/she looks like he/she wants to stab me. But after he raised the knife, I woke up. So that disc really creeped me out, so I decided to sell the disc in a junk shop. I sold it for 25 cents. And after I go home, I open my computer. Yep, no more red screens, but suddenly, when the Windows logo pop up, it is bloody as hell. I said, is this a Trojan virus again? So I opened my ESET Nod 32 Antivirus 5 to scan my computer, but no viruses or spywares. So I opened Google Chrome. The page that popped up is named as blank.com. So I freaked out again, and I saw the video that's on my dream, so I found out that the guy who walks towards me is a girl. I really closed the Google Chrome and uninstalled it, so I just used Firefox instead. Nope, that page. --.com didn't pop up so yeah. I searched for a haunted disk and my computer turned to red again, and a bloody text appeared saying, don't you dare to search us again or else. I really freaked out that day, so I tell everybody about what happened to me and everybody won't believe me, but there's one guy who believes me, my old friend. He says that he already experienced that random disc. It's a haunted disc, he said. Everything that happened to me happened to him too. He said he burned the disc to remove any cursed things or else it worked. He came to my house and we burned the random disc that I found, and that day everything turned to normal. So if you found a random disc under your bed, burn it already. Hello, my name is James Mercer. I've been following this so-called Jeff the Killer everyone is talking about. I live in the asylum where he is staying. I have heard all the videos on YouTube about him, and truthfully, it fascinates me how many idiots are in this world. Jeff the Killer is no monster. He is simply your worst nightmare, but for me, chuckle. He's my biggest idol. I long to be like him. I have never come face to face with him, but I would like to one day. Jeff is no fictional character made up by some random twisted fuck on a computer. Jeff is real, and he can't be stopped. I've been labeled insane by my doctor, a psychopath or sociopath, or been diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder, but the doctor has been taken care of. You want to know what I did to him, don't you? Well then, read this police report. Police report. Suspect, Jeffrey the Killer. Victim, Dr. Bill Wolf. All in this town known of Jeffrey the Killer, or Jeff for short. This murder seems as if it was his doing. The detective found out who he was, but he is gone now. The suspect entrails have been dragged out of the victim's body and placed in a bucket by a nearby dumpster. There is blood written on the walls that says, "Looks like you can't send anyone to that mental institution now." More needs to be found, but by the multiple stab wounds and bruises indicate the doing of this so-called Jeff the Killer. More will be written when the evidence is found. I am now writing again after a week since I had written last. I have now been face to face with Jeff the Killer. My reaction was not what he expected. He expected me to faint with terror, but instead I greeted him and told him my name was James. He asked in a very confused voice, Why aren't you afraid? Everyone is afraid of me. I replied, very calm with a smile and a slight laugh, I love you. You're my idol. Why would I be afraid of you? He asked, you don't have what it takes to follow me. You don't have the thirst for murder that I do. I told him about the killing of my doctor and showed him the police report. He looked at me and punched me in the face and kicked me in the stomach. This didn't hurt and I didn't move much, but a slight jump back to ease the push of the kick. I countered with a kick to the knee, and as he fell, a knee to the face. As blood ran down from his nose, he replied in a cheerful, almost excited voice, maybe you do have what it takes to follow me, but first you must hunt with me to see if you are worthy. I have written this waiting for him to call my name to leave. If I don't mess up, I could meet Jeff the killer's partner in murder. I hear a slight laughter. I better go. 4 weeks later. Let's just say the hunt went well. I am now his partner in murder. He called me James the Killer. I have gotten my skin bleached and cut in the form of a bloody smile. And don't forget I burned off my eyelids. I have a black hoodie and my eyes have been burned to a shade of red and black. My favorite color is blood and darkness. Blood is what is inside of all of us, flowing through our bodies, and the ultimate nightmare fuel. Darkness is what you see when you go to sleep, and when you go to sleep, that's when we're under your bed, ready to slice your throat. That's when you begin screaming for your parents. What you don't know is that your parents have already been murdered and sliced open. They didn't do what we said and run. Instead, they tried to kill Jeff and I. Decapitation may have been the wrong thing to do, but we don't care. We don't feel remorse. We will find you. We will kill you. So go ahead and try to go to sleep. Police report. Suspects, Jeff the Killer and James the Killer. Victims, unknown, Riley Blaine, unknown, Adam Smith, James Mercer. We have found that Jeff may have a partner, James. I guess he thinks that he can be the only James because of his killing of James Mercer. Riley Blaine and Adam Smith were both parents, and all child suspects cannot be identified. James Mercer was 21 years old. I oddly believe that he may be James the Killer, but that is only a theory. They think I'm dead, except for the writer of the report. Good thing he's dead now. Jeff and I didn't exactly appreciate his slip of the tongue. Jeff and I are unstoppable. We cannot be beaten, and will not rest until we are dead. This leaves me to say what you will hear tonight when you lie in bed getting ready for bed. You will hear two voices say, "Go to sleep." I get up from my bed. I looked out my window. It was pure darkness. No stars, no moon. I smirked as soon as I saw a zombie. People have such horrible costumes, I say to myself. A few minutes later, I feel a cold hand on my shoulder. I turn around, only to find nothing but a note. I read the note, and it says, "I am haunting you for eternity. You'll never know what or who I am. I am your worst nightmare. Now turn around, pretty face." I shrug and turn around just as the note says. There was a strange dark figure on the wall. I thought it was my shadow until the shadow turned into a horrifying nightmare. The creature had a body, oozing demonic blood. It had a mouth full of razor-sharp teeth. It whispers to me, "I am here. You are here. Now let's finish this." I laugh at the beast. People and their scary pranks. Well, guess what? I know this is all a prank. "This is not a prank," the beast whispers in a demonic tune and grows even more terrifying. It was horrendous. His smile started to fade into a darker smile. His eyes disappeared and his hands turned into claws. I squeeze my eyes shut and yell, "I will not die today!" I wake up. I soon notice it was all a dream. A bad dream, that is. But I didn't trust my eyes. I looked out the window, blinked a few times, and saw the same thing I have saw in my dream. A pure dark sky. No clouds, no moon, no stars. I spot the same zombie I saw in my dream as well. I manage to scream a bit. I shut the window as quickly as possible. I start to panic and look behind me, and there it is, the note. I force myself to read it. I expected it to say the same thing it said before, but it didn't. This time, it was just one word. Shadows. I was awfully confused. I ran downstairs and picked up my phone to call my mother. My mother works in Colorado while I'm in Canada. She's a great mother. She has just graduated from a college a few years ago. I remember she said, "Call me whenever you need me. Remember that." And I seemed to remember it. Once she picked up, there was a static sound in the background. "Mom, are you there?" No response. "Mom! Mom!" No response. So I yell out her name 5 more times. This time someone, or rather something, responded. "You have chosen the wrong choice." It was a dark, demonic voice. After that phrase, I heard my mother scream. I heard a chainsaw in the background. "No, that can't be," I whispered to myself. The call drops. Oh, but it is. I turn around. The demonic voice was recognizable. It was the same beast that had just murdered my mother during the call. "What do you—" The beast puts his finger to my lips. "Shh, this will only kill you." I hear the chainsaw. The beast blindfolds me with a bandana. "Sweet dreams, pretty face." I feel the chainsaw slowly cut through my neck. The pain grows fast. I scream for half a second, then close my eyes. "That's a good girl." Those were the last words I heard. I quickly died without suffering, but I will have a few questions. Who was that? No, what was that? But most importantly, why was that? I will never know. It was a dark and wet night as the rain grew rougher, but as I walked back home from my friend's house, I heard a loud sound saying, "Leave, for I have grew in the darkness." It said it 5 more times, and each getting louder till the last of the 5 went so loud it pierced my ears. After that, I saw a figure appear behind me, dark and white eyes, and following me. I ran till I got home, but when I got there, no one was behind me. The next morning, it was still raining, and I went outside, but this time I saw the figure smiling, but in the way of a sociopath, and in a few seconds vanished. And then things got freakier. The neighbor's house looked like they were brutally murdered. I went in, since I know their son, who is another friend of mine, and saw the floor was red as blood. I knew they had a red floor, but it was a darker red. I felt of the floor and noticed it was wet. I looked at the family. None were found until I went back to the living room and looked up and saw that they were hanging from the roof, closed eyes and body parts trapped to the walls behind me, which I did not see at first. Anyway, in blood was written, "One last chance, leave, leave, leave." Then I felt this feeling that I knew who it was, but I was pretty sure it wasn't, but I looked again and saw in blood, "Remember me," except it was written backwards like this. I called the police, but my phone said, "No one can hear your scream," then died and smoked. For 2 more weeks, I haven't seen the black figure, but the following Monday of the 3rd week is the week I'll never forget no matter how much I tried. It started a normal day, but with no sound except my breath walking and doing stuff I ate breakfast. After that, I started to wonder, why isn't my mom and dad and brother woke up yet? I went in to check on mom and dad, and with fear, I saw them hanging. In blood, I saw "Good morning" with the smile that the figure had. I ran to my brother's room, and the same thing happened that day. I will never forget, and that's the last encounter I have seen the black figure.